Jack, we're back in New York City, but not too long ago. Where were we?
Yeehaw! We were in Austin, Gino, and what a time it was. A great week, and we did some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, we kicked off our first ever Agency City tour, and we visited 5 agencies, Jack. Bakery, McGarrah Jessee, Preacher, Callan, and of course, GSD&M.
Yeah, small agencies, bigger agencies, agencies that have only been around for a couple years, agencies that have been around for decades. And I'm really excited about what you're going to see by having all this content come out in the same week. Because what you'll find is that everyone has a little bit of a different opinion on what Austin means, both culturally and in the advertising industry. But also, there's some interesting through lines that, regardless of what agency you're working at, can apply to everyone. So excited about it. And some crazy stuff happens as well.
Yeah, let's figure out what it's like to work in advertising in Austin. Kick it, Ellie. Hey, we're at McGarrah Jessee in Austin. This is our Austin Week celebration, learning about what is it like to work in advertising in Austin, and then more specifically, this agency. And who are we speaking here with today?
Jen Hruska. I lead strategy at McGarrah Jessee, and psyched to be here and talk to you guys.
Frick yeah, strategy. And then?
And I'm Britton Upham, and I'm the CEO of McGarrah Jessee.
Let's go.
C-suite.
C-suite.
And I'm Jack. And I'm
C-suite.
And I'm also in the C-suite at McGarrah Jessee.
We're more sweet than we are C.
No, I love that.
Yeah,
I love
let's
that.
see. Let's see.
Sweet.
I never used the title. That's why I didn't say it.
Ooh. What do you say? What do you say when
Just,
people?
I'm a strategery.
Nice.
Yeah. We're all strategists.
Absolutely.
Right.
I don't know how strategy works at all. What is an insight? I have no clue. How do you even describe what an insight is?
So easy. We use truth instead of insight, but it's where holy shit meets no duh. That is my definition. It's like the thing that comes forward and you're like, oh my God, I totally knew that, but I forgot about it. Mm-hmm. You know, there's like the human truths that we forget or overlook, or it's embarrassing to talk about. Mm-hmm. Holy shit meets no duh is an insight.
Yeah.
I saw someone say it's like being you have to be a professional human, as in by just putting yourself out in the world and immersing in as much things as possible, filling your cup, so to speak, makes you a better strategist. Yeah. I feel like that's a good one. Yeah. Professional human, put in the LinkedIn title.
Professional human's cool. Yeah.
I like the parallel with comedians,
Yeah.
Like comedians ultimately deal in truth, and hopefully tense truth, observations on society and culture and things. But when an audience reacts to a comedian, the sort of inside voice is ha ha ha, that's so true. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that the ha 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 is that it was delivered with a punchline and it snuck up on you. But the truth snuck up on you. Yeah. But I think what people are absorbing is there was a truth there that you uncurled.
It's a little uncomfortable, but it's so true.
And they're always searching, the comedians. It's just nonstop looking for material. They're kind of cursed with that. I feel like strategists.
In relationships, and work,
or they'll put themselves in weird scenarios intentionally, or force themselves to go out to look for material.
Yeah.
I think that's a good strategy too.
You ready for this transition, Gino?
Do it, Jack.
Speaking of comedy, great comedy scene here in Austin, Texas. It has been bustling. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about working in advertising in Austin. Maybe we'll start there with how the comedy scene has even blown up and how maybe that's affected the culture. We can talk broadly about
wonderful
culture.
Transition, Jack.
Thank you.
You've really crushed that.
Jen, what did you think about that transition?
I love it. I took my team to improv training. So we're a big fan of improv here. You mentioned comedians. It's really a part of the fabric in Austin. And we went and did a couple-day training on it. And I am a huge, yes and is a huge fabric of who I am and our team, our philosophy as an agency. Yes and is I know you'll talk about it. It's a huge piece of who we are here.
Yeah, super cool. Do you think you can teach someone to be funny?
No. I think you can teach people to be, or invite people to be vulnerable and imperfect. And I think that's what creativity and originality is all about. It's like very uncomfortable, very vulnerable. Ideas are from the inside out and they're precious. So how do we create that space of, this sounds formal, but like psychological safety? How do you create space for vulnerability? Because creativity is all about that.
And how does do you feel like Austin does that itself as a city? Because like there's some agencies that have been founded and like they tie their identity, and you can see it reflect into the work, whether it's like Boulder with like Crispin, which we talked about before this, even like, I don't know, like Richmond, Virginia, like with the Martin Agency, they kind of tie in
cities.
And even Minneapolis is a great hub too. So like, how does Austin fit in and like influence the ad agency? And what are you taking from the city? What are you giving back? How does this all play?
I think Austin rewards and encourages individuals. It's always been open arms, all kinds come and be you. And I think that was something that appealed to me. That was what I was encouraged when I went to college, to like go to college to be you. It's kind of your chance to, you can leave all your high school history and everything, that you grew up with behind, because all those people stay in your hometown, and you go and like, what's my next version of me where I get to really flex who I want to be. It's a clean slate, right, in a lot of ways. And I think a lot of people come to Austin that way. And it tracks back to hippies and individuals and all that kind of stuff back then. But you also have politicians mixed with tech people, mixed with musicians, mixed with lawyers. It's all here. And everybody's sort of embraced for it. And I think that ties into comedy in some ways, because you're asking about being funny. I don't know, maybe you can teach people how to access their humor. But I think mostly it's about teaching people that they should find their individualism and flex it, let your flag fly. And I think that's funny. And comedians aren't always funny, a lot of what they do is deep. There's a lot of deep before the joke. And I think that's a part of comedy too, the whole arc.
Absolutely. I'm just thinking about LA. Yeah. And I feel like everybody goes there to be famous, or like they put on, like they care so much about getting noticed and like putting on an act of some sort. I feel like this is much different, in Austin, or you can be yourself. You don't care too much about getting noticed. Like, help me.
That's it. I think.
Am I onto something?
You are, and I hope so. If you asked me earlier about how is it changing and how would people be frustrated, I think that would be the thing I would be bummed out if it changed.
Okay, let's give the context there, because we've been hearing about it. Like, obviously, Austin is changing so much as a city. People are flooding in. Companies are flooding in. Yeah. You've been here for 20 plus years, so. Something that I want to explore is, how has that changed? Have you noticed it? Does that frustrate you? Is it losing the ethos of a city? And your response is?
That would bum me out if we lost the laid back, you be you nature of this town. That would really bum me out. And I think it's where people uprise the most to get frustrated is if they start to see that, because, it's like the mentality around flip-flops it is like it stands for something bigger, which is just like let's just all slow our roll for a second, chill, and then don't worry about pomp and circumstance and all that. Like, I used to go out to like a restaurant at 10 o'clock at night and there'd be people in pajamas, and that's just like, roll the way you want to roll, and I would love for that to always be a part of Austin.
I'd add to that, I think culturally, I just think try hard is so, we're over it. The try hard work, it's like the intensity, it's a yawn a little bit right now. And I feel like you have this beautiful city of creativity and success and tech job, it's all coming together. It's like cultural chaos in Austin, which I love. But underlying all that is like a chill vibe, easy going. So it's work easy, don't work hard. It's easy, and that you don't find in New York. You don't find it in LA. There's a keeping up nature. And it's just kind of no one's interested in that, And so it's really refreshing to even be in this industry, in ad world, which we've all seen what ad world can be across different cities and whatnot. And the Richmonds and the Austin, there's just a different pulse, a different pace that feels so fucking refreshing. I can say that in the industry.
I have a really good question I'm about to ask.
Bring it.
Oh,
It's
wow.
gonna be
Jack is just
He's
drum
good.
roll.
I know,
He's good
I
today.
know.
He's good.
As a creative agency where you sit in between the arts and the business side of like an economy, do you feel as a creative agency it's your responsibility to maintain that individualism and push that forward for the city culturally, knowing that massive tech companies that are kind of like for, it's a lot of like the culture of everyone fall in the line. Everyone's wearing the uniform and they're going and doing the same job.
Playing
Everyone has
by
the same
the rules.
playing by the rules. As a creative agency, do you feel like you have to maintain or feel the responsibility to keep the culture moving forward?
I mean, I think that would be a big thing to promote ourselves to, a leading role in that. I mean, it sort of takes everybody, but I think a contributive role for sure, and I believe that people ultimately, it's also the way we think about how we like to take brands to market. Like we help connect brands to people's individualism. Like we really just want people to find their voice in a brand as opposed to the other way around. And so I think as a city, it's the same thing. Like there's room for everybody. And I think we want it to stay that way in this town.
And that's the exciting part of more agencies coming into Austin and flooding the city. I mean, like, to me, it's like, that's a good thing. It's like creative industry. It's like people are coming in and to spread that spirit of kind of anything goes and breaking the rules and disrupting some of corporate America. It's like that's refreshing, and we want to keep that vibe.
Yeah, there's demand.
Like, I like that more agencies are moving. It's great. They're our friends. We refer to each other. Like, it's like we take care of each other. So that's a win.
Yeah.
It's more like-mindedness.
I was going to ask, what's your case for somebody that's in advertising, that's maybe working in another city, or they're coming out of college? What's your pitch to them to move and work in advertising in Austin specifically?
I think Austin's a town that keeps you young, and I like that. I mean, so we have UT here, which is giant, and it's constantly cranking out kids that came here to be a part of UT, and sometimes diverse students, which is great. And then they fall in love with the town while they're here, and they stay here. And I think there's also a component that rubs off on you on this town, which is it is on tilt on design. Like,
yes.
I mean, in my mind, like if you went to the hospital, you'd probably walk out with a merch pack for the hospital, and it would be a great logo. And like, I mean, it's just everything has merch, and everything has a great name, a great logo, a great interior design. It's insane, and that starts to rub off on you. It builds your own taste, and I think that's kind of cool. And I would encourage people to come and sort of grow up here, grow your taste here.
Oh, I like
that. Yeah, it does feel like it's such an the arts of Austin have to feed into that feeling. Like, you feel like just from being here for a short amount of time or visiting, you almost feel a part of the arts, and by nature of being here, the green space, the things that you see on the murals and the walls, like, those feel, even the neon signs, those all contribute to your taste. And I think that's different than seeing, to use New York as an example, skyscrapers and buildings that all look the same.
I think there's an insight in that too, which we don't have a national football or basketball team. We've got college teams and, football, soccer clubs and things. And we don't really have, there's a couple, Blanton would challenge this, but until then, we didn't really have any like big museums. The art was all local. And my favorite art scene every year is the East Austin Studio Tour, which is people open up 400 of their houses, which are just their personal studios, and you just walk in and you check out the art, and it's all scrappy and individual, and it's more studios than it is galleries. And it's and if it's galleries, it's not museums. You know what I mean? And I think that's interesting. Mm-hmm. It's the same way the music was built up here, and I think probably why you have to look at South by Southwest as just something also that is unique here in the way it came together and how people stomp into this town and what they're looking to do and how they want to discover things. It's also a lanyard city. Like, if we step out today, there'll be some conference somewhere, and you step out tomorrow, and it's another one. So I think that's maybe some of the appeal of the city. People want to come do things here, and the convention center is getting its third expansion right now.
It's just a little more. It's a little more spacious, like energetically in your career. Like, I feel like there was an old thing of like, you give up everything to be in this industry and you fight, it's like, I feel like the Austin allows for creative energy and space around this particular career. And I think that's so healthy, so refreshing in this industry. Yeah.
I want to learn more about McGarrah Jessee and how you guys stand out or how you're different compared to the agencies that are here. So let's get into it. Give me the rundown. Like, you guys have been here for how long?
1996.
96. That's 29 years.
Good math.
Well done.
29
That was
years.
quick.
Is that, did you use your birth year as the thing?
Bump a dog. You thought I was going to mental
You
math?
had
No.
another. Yeah. Okay.
No,
It's like, damn, you just did that
29
quick.
years.
I know that because
29
we should probably do something for our 30th. So
Yeah.
we should probably be planning that.
Well,
right
What are
we
we
are
thinking? What are you
going
guys thinking?
I have no idea. I haven't even put a second on
Should we
it, but-
plan it on this?
Yes.
Use the rest of the
That'd
time
be
to
great.
plan
We
it.
Well, I'd love to hear maybe, coming to McGarrah Jessee.
Yeah.
Jen, like, what was when you were coming into it? What did you know about McGarrah Jessee, and now being here, was that all spot on, or now that you're on the inside?
No, it was spot. Like, I sound like such a skeptic of advertising, and I don't mean to sound that way.
I think as a strategist, you have to be a skeptic.
I have to be of a
everything.
lot of
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
but like, it can be a soulless, transactional, competitive at all costs, kind of ugly in moments industry. I've seen it. We've been a part of it. Get holding companies involved. So independence was for sure a reason to get out of the holding company world. Like, that is refreshing in and of itself. We report to ourselves, and that's who we report to, But my short answer, and this is like true, it's such a truth of McGarrah Jessee that I think it's hard to find, which is good can be good business. And I really believe that. Like, it's hard to find like good. Like, I'm talking integrity, I'm talking humanity, I'm talking like how we run the business is good business. Like, usually it's like a little backstabby, lots of ego, definitely dealing with some, lack of integrity. And I think it's really refreshing to go like, wow, good can be good business. And I believe that's true to us.
Yeah, I'm curious about the stance as a business. I think by nature, doing good and putting that at the forefront can sometimes lead to maybe not the peak or max potential of a revenue. Mm-hmm. And so how do you balance like the business side?
That's part of our business.
Yeah, like the business,
We don't
what's the cost?
sacrifice it.
Yeah, what's the cost of doing good all the time?
There is a cost.
Yeah,
We're a
there's a great cost.
$26 million business after 30 years. And I say that's, by some, unremarkable if you're looking for revenue growth. By others, it's remarkable because of how many times we've said no to something that didn't feel right for our people. And that's why that's why I've been here as long as I have. It's just permission to only chase the stuff that feels right for everybody.
We'd go down before we give in.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that's so refreshing. Like, that is so refreshing. So,
And that must permeate throughout the entire organization.
and it's just, and I've had friends that have worked with freelance with art and to this day, they're like, there's nothing like McGarrah Jessee that stands by their truth, has great people on it. Like, it's just like, there's a lot of, and it's just, that's the joy of this place.
But by the way, that's all inside how we
Yeah.
run things. That's not what we talk about
No,
to clients. It's just we hope they feel all of that.
Yeah.
You don't talk about that stuff.
No.
It's just how you show up.
I'm just
And-
sharing with
yeah,
you
yeah.
guys, like, the truth.
Just
Appreciate
us.
that. Thank you. And I mean, of course it would always, you could, I don't know. I think it'd be really hard to like communicate that. If you're talking here, like, trust us, we're really good. Yeah.
Can't
It's
go
going to be
there.
different here. It's like,
Yeah.
no, like, talk to our clients and then see how it feels.
That's just our.
But it's what we care about
Yeah.
inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what we promise as a ride to our people and how we recruit. And
Yeah.
Well, I think it's super interesting because you're competing against agencies that are beholden to a bottom line, and when you're a publicly traded company or are part of one, it's always going to be about that just by nature.
Yep.
Like when the people that are owning the business are beholden to that bottom line, so are you. So I think it's super interesting to compete in the same arena and have completely kind of like different. I don't know if it doesn't sound like McGarrah Jessee is like, we need to grow by 40% every year no matter what. Like, it doesn't feel like that's the goal. Of course, you want to continue to have steady growth, but you want to do it in a way that makes sense.
And clients we want to partner with, and
we want growth because it's new toys.
That's
why we're all here, really. I want to work on new things. I want to practice new things. I want to put my brain to stuff.
Yeah.
And there's security in having a pipeline too. So I call it in demand and choosy. Like, that's the perfect state. You want to have your reputation for the work you do and the impact you make on your client's business to be strong enough that there's a line around the block. The club you want to get into, and then we get to be choosy about, respectfully, not with ego, but we get to be choosy about what we say yes to on our timeline and everything else.
That's a good goal for your personal relationships, Jack.
Yeah.
In demand, but choosy.
Yeah.
Think about that.
I totally agree.
You can steal it, Jack.
Put that on your Hinge profile.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. I'm in demand.
I feel like
Gino's
judging some of your choices. I don't know.
Well, I just think it's messed up that every time we talk about anything, it always gets brought back to my personal relationship.
What's the opposite of in demand and choosy?
What's
the opposite?
Don't say.
I'm not going to say.
Not me.
I'm just wondering.
In demand and choosy. I mean, great strategy mind though. Great strategy mind over there. I do think that is super interesting. And then you also, like, by nature, if you're in demand and choosy, you're choosing the opportunities that will lead to the best value as well. And I think a lot of times, if you're in a business, you're running a business, you're gonna maybe take an opportunity because it's lucrative, but maybe it's not the best fit. And then you're like, you kind of knew going into it, we might not get the best out of this on both sides.
I mean, to that, we'll say no before we say yes. Like, we say no more than we say yes.
What are your parameters?
Because it's, we have our own, we're not going to get into that stuff, but like how we evaluate an opportunity. And I know she's not in here with us, our head of new business, like, we can say no. Wait, what? And I was like, we can say no, if it's not right.
Yeah.
So.
What are the 3 F's or whatever? It's like friends, fortune, fame. Like, it's got to have like 2 out of 3 is like a classic one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure you have your own system and all that.
Totally. So.
Is that something that has that always been like the ethos of McGarrah Jessee when you came into it that was kind of always what it was built on?
For me, yes. So our 2 founders, when they started this place, it was sort of antithesis to being a part of agencies that then became holding companies, and just they saw everything change, and they felt like they weren't in charge of their own destiny anymore, and they wanted to really curate something that would stand the test of time, and so I was sort of pitched that early on by them, and I grew up in account service. And account service in the wrong environment, you're in the quote client service business that can get to a yes, may I have another? How high can I jump? I didn't want to do that, and I'd been close to that before and not happy in that role. And so it felt like a reprieve, and I was like, this is interesting, and then it proved true. First you have to go same thing.
That's
it's
the
like
same
you're
thing.
skeptical.
You're like,
Yeah.
really?
Jen,
Is it
you're
really?
skeptical.
It sounds good. You seem like trustworthy
Come
people.
on,
But when when push comes to shove, I have the authority to run off that manual, and it became very evident very fast. The answer was yes, and then But.
Yeah, I'm curious then to jump into the interaction with the other agencies in Austin. You said more agencies are coming into the city. You say it's a great thing. I'm curious, what has that been? How have you seen? It's competitive, of course, but I mean, I just want to hear more about like that landscape and how McGarrah Jessee fits into it, or how you see it.
A couple phases. I think originally when we first opened, there was some it was tech stuff out there that wasn't really our favorite thing. We were in some B2B. We were always into consumer brands, and there weren't any here in '96. There really weren't. There was like Whole Foods, but They did regional. All their grocery stores were operating with their own regional budgets, and then there was Dell, but that was really B2B. There just wasn't anything here. So if you were here then, which GSDM preceded us, you were here because you wanted to live in Austin, and then you had to go hunt for business outside of Austin, and that was really our first decade. And then there was a period there early on, kind of 3 years in for us, early 2000s. Because we believe that design needs to be a part of how you fulfill a promise. Like advertising is a promise part. It's going to be great. And be a part of this brand. Come see. But if it doesn't feel great when you get to it, that's just called churn. So we started design practice, and that became a really big passion for ours. And through the trust we had, we built that out bigger and bigger. And as I look now across Austin, and we talked about design a second ago in this town, the four or five hottest shops in Austin, in my opinion, well, they spawned here, people that spun out, and that's really cool. So that's on the design side. And then on the advertising side, it was just, there wasn't too much here going on until last 7-8 years, and then it was interesting. And that's where you see Preacher popping up, and Bakery and Callan and all those guys coming in. And you can ask Crystal, or you can ask people at Preacher about this, but I remember, because what Jen described, we were psyched about that. We're like, this is great. It brings more talent in. It brings more attention to the city.
More independence.
More search consultants will fly in and do it. Yeah. Like you guys. You guys are here now because there's a gaggle of us. If there's one or two, you're like, we'll skip that market. And so we were psyched about that. And I remember when Preacher got here, I reached out to them, and we even had an opportunity, and we sent it that way. But I just said, hey, welcome. This is great. And I think at first they were a little bit like, should we be suspicious of this? What's their agenda?
Are they like,
I'm like,
going on?
No, for reals. It's great. You guys are breaking off from you got great reputation. You're going to do great things here. There's room for us all, So I still feel that way.
Yeah, love that. This is the part I'm going to ask these same questions to every agency, just so we get some consistency here. 5 questions. We'll just run through these, and just kind of a chance for us to really crystallize what we've talked about so far. Do you agree to the terms?
Absolutely.
I don't. No, I'm kidding.
Well,
sorry. Sorry.
What is it like working in advertising in Austin right now?
Right now, I think it's kind of wide open. I feel like we've got all the energy. It's a burgeoning city filled with young creativity, and I think it's a microcosm of the industry at large. The industry at large right now is sort of a jump ball. I think anything that pops up, everybody's in, and everybody's welcoming it, and it's just easier, for clients to take any suitor a quick look, and I just think this town's operating that way also.
I think it's like the hottest place to be right now.
I love that. Okay.
It just truly is. If you want to be in this space, in a city of creativity, I think it's just the start of something really, it's just going to take off.
Amazing. So how would you describe what it's like to work at McGarrah Jessee?
I feel we covered it. The way I describe it is we don't like to add drama to an already dramatic business. I mean, it is a dramatic business.
Yeah.
We get handed a fireball every hour, and we have a week to solve it, and there are jobs on the line on our clients' businesses, all of that, and it's just pulling rabbits out of hats over and over and over again, and every time you better have a rabbit by the ears, and that is already dramatic. So we try not to bring drama to it, meaning big ego, the wrong kind of egos, trust concerns, just quick, truthful transactions with people you like.
Yeah, I love
don't
that.
Bring to
I would say high expectations in an easygoing, fun way.
That's cool.
It's the bar is high, but let's do it in a truthful, cool, respectable way. No drama. Drama's lame, ego's lame. Get rid of the ego. Come and join us.
And that leads to the next question. What kind of people do the best work at McGarrah Jessee?
Well, we talk a lot about athletes.
Yeah.
We definitely want...
That would be my answer.
We want people that... And maybe it's a little intimidating when you get here would be the right environment, in the sense that you're like, wow, I look around and I see these legendary, great creative people and strategists and technologists and all these people, and I think I belong here, but I'm a little nervous. And then what you find inside yourself is that that other people are looking at you that way. That's the great discovery that we want everybody to have.
Did you say athletes?
Athletes.
What's that?
Recovery. I mean, like, that's how you do it. This business.
Okay.
If I gave anyone advice, it's like take care of yourself, wellness, sprint and recover. That's the business we're in.
You are like an advertising athlete.
Yeah, advertising athlete. And
oh my God, I've never heard that before.
Yeah,
this is going to create something.
Yeah, you have to be that to survive this. And so you got to take care of yourself. You got to have the whole. I managed the whole self. We managed the whole self. Like, you just crushed. I hope I don't see you for a week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Go do your thing. Whatever your side hustle is, go.
Yeah.
And so advertising athletes.
Interesting. And the sprint, it is a business of sprints.
Recovery.
It's a marathon of sprints.
And I sprint marathons, Gino.
Holy crap.
How about that? That's awesome. Athletes, athleticism.
Yes.
Oh.
I was telling
it's
Ellie, our
important.
producer, like make sure your mentals are good before it gets cold in New York City. Like, tighten things up, whatever you need to do. It's gonna get dark quick here. The work itself is always gonna be like pretty consistent for our business, but like
even for you guys, it's an intense world.
Yeah.
And so you can get burnouts for real in the ad world everywhere, but burnout is especially real in our world. So it's like, how do you maintain health and interest and curiosity and creativity? How do you want to stay in it?
It's a long season.
You got to set boundaries, and you got to. It's a long season.
It's a long season.
So you got to stay fit.
Yeah. Love that. Okay. What kind of clients and work define your agency today?
I think it's a body. Ends up being a body of work more often than not, honestly. I mean, we're careful on that because we're definitely open for project work. We love it. We love a great, just here's a cool brief, help us launch something. But the stuff that really defines us, and I just say this factually because when someone calls, one of our first questions is, how did you hear about us, or why are you calling, right? Just, it's an important input. And many times we hear, oh, it's Yeti. You're like, okay, well, what? So Yeti was, in 5 years, helping a brand go from 25 million to 800 million in an IPO, and go from one product to 15 products and many use cases and all these different innovations along the way. And in the beginning, that was really confusing, like why we would just get these calls and they say, oh, we want what you did for Yeti. And you're like, but you're a perfume company. I don't understand. Like, what does that have to do with hunting, fishing, and, surfing? And what we quickly realized was because every new brand starts as a product invention, and first it's just, I got a better mousetrap and I want people to know about it. But then ultimately they have growth goals and it's multiple products and everything else. And in those initial product sets, they tend to find a niche group of people that have assembled around it. Like, that's exactly the product that you found that I want in my life. And they're very passionate. And they need to go from that initial core into more people. And so that's what we did with Yeti without screwing up the brand in the process, that we call it without dropping the meat in the dirt. And that's universally interesting to other brands. Right?
2016, first college paper studying advertising at University of Illinois. Yeti was the brand I selected. Yeti. Wrote about you guys.
Build brands over advertising, I would say, for us. We really we get in there. One of the things is we believe there is no line above the line, below the line work. Mm-hmm. There's no line. Yeah. People see and experience brands and represent. So I say that we love the let's get in and build this thing together.
Love it.
Versus just being a campaign, a brief writing shop. It's I love to build brands.
Yeah, I love that. And last one is, how do you define the culture of McGarrah Jessee today?
Do you want to start on that one? I keep answering first.
No, go ahead. I like to take a second.
Yeah. If we boil it, I remember there was an RFP that tried to boil it down to one word. And you only get one word.
You can have more than one word if you want, but feel free.
It just makes me think of that answer at the center of it all. I think at the center of it all, it's about respect. And that's not a sexy word, but it's a powerful word to me. So I think what we mean by that is sort of respect in three directions. So first, it's with each other, showing up for each other, challenging your bias every day, helping everybody grow each other. We definitely believe in, we call it compassionate candor, but kindness over niceness, and like those are gifts to give to each other. Then there's respect for our clients, and the way we talk about that is really we're in the brand service business, not the client service business. Like, we're going to challenge you in order to grow the brand, because the brands, they should outlast us all. These could be temporary gigs for any of us, but we have something else to build, and then let's grow in service of the brand, not just be worried about the politics.
I love that.
And then it's respect for the consumer, and that one's really important. That's really our work, and we don't want to hawk ads at people. We want to meet people where they are, and sometimes it's bringing inspiration to them, sometimes it's like information, sometimes it's utility, but all of that can have charisma, and so let's respect it. They're going about their lives. How do we actually just bring value to their lives as opposed to try to insert ourselves in it? So that's why I say respect. It kind of works for me in all the directions.
Mine's more like a personality, which is like, I feel like McGarrah Jessee is that like person that walks in the room, that says nothing, that is so confident, but doesn't have to talk. It's like swagger, quiet confidence. I feel like we're a quiet, confident, we know what we're here to do, we believe in what we're doing, but like we're not as noisy or loud or trying to scream it. We're just like that quiet, that person that just has swagger because they don't even say anything.
I like that.
It's awesome.
To the respect thing, it's hard to do. Like, I get pretty mean. Like with Jack and like our employees, and then sometimes our clients. Like, we get mean at each other. Yeah, it's hard to be nice. So I, a lot of respect for the respect that you guys have.
To echo onto that respect and Gino's respect for your respect. My respect is respectfully. I like what you said, respecting the consumer, because it lends itself to like, you're not the consumer doesn't owe you anything. No. As a brand, and respecting the consumer means, to your point, adding value, and that means don't make work that is like almost disrespectful to a consumer. Like if a consumer saw this and they're like, oh my God, I just wasted my time on that. Or that.
We don't want to add to the noise. That's like gross. We don't want to add to the noise. That is why we have media in-house, is to like be really choiceful how we place and where we put work, is so it's some of that too, tied into the business.
Wonderful. Great up. You guys crushed it.
What is it? Don't let the meat hit the dirt.
Don't drop the meat in the dirt.
Don't drop the meat
Jack,
in the dirt.
Stay in demand and choosy.
Stay in demand and choosy.
That was your takeaway.
Yes.
My takeaway is to be stay in demand and choosy.
That's right. That's right.
And Gino, you want us to stay athletic, right? So
Okay.
Yeah.
Stay athletic.
We're good. That's
I drink athletic too.
Is that the beer?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's got great branding.
It's great branding. Yeah. Yep.
What about Athletic Greens?
Athletic Greens.
This episode is sponsored by Athletic Greens.
No, I don't do those. Now we're in the Huberman lab.
Yeah, exactly. and then now.
Transition. For realsies, how can people reach out if they want to work with you, want to work for you? What's the catch-all? Where should they go?
Yeah, I think our email is like say hi or something at McJay. It's on our site, but we're casual about that, so everybody
casual is a good word for McJay.
I mean, I actually want to go. So for me, the short answer is like LinkedIn's easy. Just find me there, hit me up, I'll reply. But I think as an agency, like we want to go even like further with it, where we just haven't built it out on our site. But we would like to ultimately just have our internal Slack channel open to like you could access it and just jump in, and whoever's around just would jump on like the inquiry and just start chatting with you,
Wow.
like grabbing the bat phone,
Customer service.
Yeah.
It's like just
real
chat.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, we just want to be that approachable, and maybe we crowdsource that across the agency or something. So those are things we think about. But
Here you go. This is us participating. We will gladly help moderate that Slack channel. That's promise.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I love that.
I can moderate it.
That'd be fun.
We could be like, that front wall, like, suss out if people are actually
it would
interested.
work, breaking and entering,
There you go. There's something there.
I like that.
Well,
Cool.
thank
Nicely
you all.
done.
Thank you.
Thank you so
all.
much.
Appreciate it.
Nice to meet you guys. Yeah.
And boom.
Boom.
Boom.